This is my defense for every single person that tries to slander me for just trying to follow the scriptures, which is, hey, why don't you come stand in the light with me? If you can see all of my flaws, why don't you stand in the light and we can do this together? Now, most of the time, sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. And the reason that these scriptures are in here is not so that we can just be defensive and attack and always have a response. The reason that these scriptures are in here is because it happens. People are going to be negative towards you. People are going to look at you and attack God, or people are going to have a bad experience about the church and attack you, or vice versa. It's going to happen, but that's not the real reason that these are in here. But in fact, the rest of the story, when it comes to how Jesus interacted, people are with the early church. It had way more to do with sharing that light with somebody else than it did being defensive in a corner or under the light by yourself. See, everything I explained is real. It happens. And it's way easier to deal with it on an online basis than it is in person with your friends. But our job is not to be defensive all the time. Our job is to stay within the light, just as the church and Jesus did, and do our best to bring the light along the way, no matter what we do. They didn't keep the light for themselves, but they allowed it to share, and it developed a culture of multiplication where they just could not help but share it with absolutely everyone. They shared their light with others, not because it made them feel good, but because they got something out of it. But they shared and told about Jesus because they could not stomach the fact that people were living within hell on earth. Do you love people enough to show them the freedom that Jesus offers? And just think about how you end up at this church. Or more specifically, why the better question, why did you stay at this church? It was most likely because somebody came up to you and was interested in who you are. Maybe somebody sent you a message afterwards, or if you missed a week, somebody said, hey, why don't you come back one more time? Maybe it's when you did come back the second time, that same person came back and remembered the stories about you. And before you knew it, you've been here like 3, 4, 5 times, and then you got a bunch of new friends that know more about you than your coworkers do. Or maybe it's because you know these people actually care about you and that they pray for you. Or maybe it's all of the above.